Hey Ringsiders, what's going on? This is your host, Boxing's Objective Observer, and welcome back to Ringside Stories. Or if you're new, we make content regarding boxing through mini documentaries, backstories, post-fight analysis, and much more. So if you enjoy that type of content, feel free to subscribe and Mike Tyson that like button.
Boom, perfect timing.
Thanks so much for your support in advance. Daniel Dubois is still the IBF heavyweight champion of the world, moving his win streak to 3-0 in his last 3 fights with a stunning 5th round knockout over former 2-time unified heavyweight world champion Anthony Joshua in front of a 96,000 crowd at Wembley Stadium.
The footwork was the issue, the mentality was the issue, everything was the issue. I thought I was seeing the man who has the face of AJ but has a completely different inside. I mean, it didn't look the way we expected him to look. It didn't look the way, I don't know, maybe it's the matter is straight. Did you see his right hand? It was all the way on his chest. So his chin was up. And it was like, you know, like a fairy tale for any boxer, not just for Dubois, for everyone.
And then you have one problem, because this position is dangerous. If you wanna do step back like this, not like this, because this is dangerous. We'll see.
Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois was the story of the jab, specifically Daniel Dubois's jab. The plan trainer Ben Davison gave Anthony Joshua was to move around the ring, create space, jab from a distance, and wait for counterpunch opportunities. What was telling, however, was the fact Daniel Dubois was faster and sharper than the former 2-time unified heavyweight world champion. Looking at the stats of the jab tells the story. Daniel Dubois outthrew AJ with 230 to 139 jabs. But most importantly, Triple D's jab had much more high impact. Coming into the fight, we knew Daniel Dubois' jab was lethal. Triple D threw his jab with authority, and pretty much every single time it hurt AJ snapping back his head, proving Daniel Dubois beat Anthony Joshua to the punch. The overhand right AJ got caught with by the end of the first round was symbolic for AJ's demise, as he was in Dubois' range with his hands low and his chin up in the air. A couple of tactical errors, which was a red thread throughout the whole fight. Needless to say, the power and velocity of that overhand right was more than AJ's chin could handle. In round 2, Dubois went right after AJ, continuing his onslaught, and everybody watching this fight unfold could see how a bit sophisticated pressure puts AJ on his back foot and in his box. Kudos to AJ as he successfully smothered much of the champ's work, surviving round 2 without suffering a knockdown in this round. Subsequent rounds 3 and 4, however, Dubois did knock AJ down, where Dubois stamped his authority once more with his jab and a long left hook in round 4, where it looked the ref stopped the fight. That didn't happen until the next round, when Joshua finally caught his man, landing a peach of a right hand that buckled Daniel Dubois. AJ went after Dubois, pushing him into the corner, but as the former champ went for broke, he left himself wide open with his hands low and his chin in the air, walking right into an overhand right that sealed the deal with a KO of the year candidate.
Is there a way back for this, Conor? Do you believe? Yes.
He smacked him back, he stood his ground and smacked him back, and then he went forward and got caught. It's only boxing. You get caught, you catch someone. Of course he can come back, for sure.
He jumped on AJ, and I'm glad he did. I thought he had the fight won in the 3rd round, but clearly you can see the home cooking with the referee, man. They did everything in their power to make AJ recovery. All the billboards I'm seeing is all AJ. You know, he's a big undercard. They wrote Dubois off, and I'm happy he didn't just get a win. I'm happy that he knocked AJ the f out the way he did.
In the build-up, Anthony Joshua looked excited and switched on for this Daniel Dubois fight. His 2 stoppage wins over Otto Wallin and former UFC heavyweight world champion Francis Ngannou were great confidence builders, as Joshua recorded 2 stoppage wins over 2 opponents Tyson Fury struggled with, setting up a potential Fury-Joshua fight. down the road. Props to Anthony Joshua taking this dangerous fight, or as he called it, rolling the dice. AJ looked focused in his ring walk, but a bit tense, which happens when you fight in front of 96,000 people. As the fight started, however, Anthony Joshua looked nervous. As mentioned earlier, his hands were low and his chin up in the air, inviting Daniel Dubois, who took full advantage of AJ's tactical errors. Now, offensively, AJ didn't set up his shots correctly. As an Olympic gold medalist and a former two-time unified heavyweight champion of the world, the bag of experience AJ has acquired over the years, it was shocking to see Anthony Joshua's performance from a technical point of view. Yes, Dubois was sharper, faster, and fresher, and his shots were more meaningful, but Anthony Joshua looked sloppy, and I've never seen him perform so sloppily as he did in the Daniel Dubois fight. Yes, AJ showed hard, and believe it or not, suffering 3 knockdowns in this fight, I think he showed better survival skills than he did in the past. Against Vladimir Klitschko, AJ took multiple rounds to get back into the fight, and in his first fight against Andy Ruiz Jr., Joshua failed to get back into the fight, period. Got outgunned by the faster gun. Against Daniel Dubois, even though he did get back up 3 out of 4 times, his defensive tactics and sloppy technique offensively leaves much to be desired. Since he failed to become a 3-time world champion, what's next for Anthony Joshua? His devastating loss to Daniel Dubois may have crashed AJ's stock commercially, not in terms of sponsorships per se, but from a boxing draw point of view. Anthony Joshua has hinted at his longevity in the game for some time now. So where does Joshua put himself in terms of the world title picture? AJ can choose to rebuild against lower tier opposition, but maybe that will be a drawn out process, in which case Joshua may fight some better known opponents. Would he fancy his chances against Chinese danger man Zhilei Zhang? A fight with Big Bang in China would surely be big, as Zhang and AJ have unfinished business dating back to the 2012 London Olympics. And obviously, with Zhang standing at 6'5", a dangerous southpaw who just knocked out Deontay Wilder, and AJ who stands at 6'6", known for his punching power, AJ versus Zhang would surely be fireworks. What about a rematch with Dillian Whyte, the fight in the summer of 23 that got cancelled because Whyte had, quote, adverse analytical findings according to a VADA test? That domestic rivalry may still be good enough to draw a relatively big crowd in the UK. Or what about the transatlantic showdown with former WBC world champion Deontay Wilder? Anthony Joshua has expressed interest in the Wilder fight even recently, and the Bronze Bomber has been adamant in his stance to not retire just yet, despite suffering back-to-back defeats at the hands of Joseph Parker and Zhilei Zhang, which was a devastating knockout loss. Joshua versus Wilder really was one of this generation's heavyweight clashes that got away in a time before the Saudi takeover, where network and promotional politics got in the way of what should have been undefeated champion against undefeated champion for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world in around 2017 to 2019. Since both former world champions are coming off losses and are nearing the end of their respective boxing careers, maybe now is the time to put these two heavy hitters in the ring before their final hurrahs.
We took a shot at success and we came up short, unfortunately. We rolled the dice, man, for the 3rd time. That's 13 world title fights. Not everyone's been successful, but everyone's been fun and entertaining. We're trying to create history for British boxing, and I think we're doing that. We're going to live to fight another day. And that's what I'm a warrior. And also, before I finish, we have to give credit to our opponent as well, Daniel.
Should have been stopped earlier, Daniel.
I can't say it's a great fight. I'm just glad I won, and this is the redemption journey.
Daniel Dubois' win over Anthony Joshua is a win for the next generation of heavyweight boxers. This current heavyweight era started with Tyson Fury's win over Vladimir Klitschko in 2015. However, it took 2 more years before this generation of heavyweights came to full ignition with Anthony Joshua's TKO win over Vladimir Klitschko at Wembley Stadium. And this generation was spearheaded by the 3-headed monster Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, and Anthony Joshua, who didn't all fight each other, unfortunately. Then in 2019, Oleksandr Usyk, as the undisputed cruiserweight world champion, came into the mix and put a spanner in the works, beating Anthony Joshua twice to become unified heavyweight champion of the world, then defending against Daniel Dubois before beating undefeated Tyson Fury. And so in the wake of his defeat to Oleksandr Usyk, Daniel Dubois was working on his comeback as one of the heavyweights of this next generation. The likes of 19-year-old Slovakian-born, 6'3" British talent Moses Atoma, who has the ambition to become the youngest heavyweight champion of the world, breaking Mike Tyson's record. Uzbek Olympic gold medalist Bahodir Jalolov, who is 30 years of age, yes, but still considered a young heavyweight and could make some waves in years to come. American Jared Anderson, who just took his first loss of his pro career against Martin Bakole, who has been touted as America's next best heavyweight. And really, his loss to Bakole was a sign this current generation of heavyweights hasn't fully come to an end just yet, especially with the Usyk versus Fury rematch looming at the end of 2024, which is not for undisputed, but still 3 of the 4 heavyweight world titles. Daniel Dubois' spectacular KO win over Anthony Joshua is the first win of this magnitude that may make inroads for the next crop of heavyweights. He is 27 years young, but already has a whole heap of experience in the pro ranks, fighting the likes of undefeated unified world champion Usyk, in which Triple D gave a good account of himself, but fell short and ended on the canvas before staying down the second time around. Dubois made it clear the Usyk rematch is very much on his mind.
Yeah, Usyk rematch, whoever they want.
Should the former undisputed heavyweight champion of the world come through Fury a second time, bar an outstanding mandatory challenger, and depending on Usyk's choice, a showdown between Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois could be Triple D's sought-after redemption in a fight that potentially would be for all 4 belts, giving young Daniel Dubois a chance to become undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Who would have thought that may actually be a possibility, especially after Dubois tasted that defeat against Usyk in 2023? What are your thoughts, Ringsiders, about this Daniel Dubois versus Anthony Joshua fight, the knockout in round 5, and the next generation of heavyweights that is so prominently knocking on the door? Let us know in the comments below. If you're new and you haven't already, feel free to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and Mike Tyson that like button.
Boom, perfect timing.
As it helps inspire me to make more quality content for y'all. Now, if you've done that already, you're amazing. We already know that you are the true undisputed world champion. Till next time, Ringsiders, this is your host, Boxing's Objective Observer, with Ringside Stories. Thanks for watching, and have a legendary day.